Hi, welcome to the PoliticAL update with me, Alexandra Acker-Lyons. I pay attention to political news so you don't have to. It is Friday, August 1st. It's August. How did that happen? We had a lot of candidate news this week. Holy cow. Starting with a biggie, Vice President Kamala Harris has decided she is not going to run for governor of California. Some of you know I lived in the Bay Area for 8 years, still have lots of friends and ties there, and have been watching this race really closely the whole cycle. I am ride or die for Katie Porter. I love her. I've supported all of her runs because I think she is just an incredible, smart, and special leader. But there are 14 people running already. 4 are qualified women. California has never had a woman governor. We used to have 2 female senators, and now we have 2 men. And a reminder that California is a top 2 primary state. So that means the top 2 vote getters in the primary go forward to the general election, regardless of party. Last year, when Senator Adam Schiff was elected, he faced a Republican in the general election, so it wasn't competitive. It is possible that 2 Democrats will get through to the top 2, and I would love for them both to be women. Last week, I recorded before the announcement that Governor Tony Evers in Wisconsin is not running for a 3rd term. This makes for an incredibly competitive governor's race in a very, very purple state. Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez has already announced that she will run. Secretary of State Sarah Godlewski, who's a friend, has said she will run for lieutenant governor instead of governor. And then we are waiting on several other Democrats to get in. There were already a couple of Republicans in. I'm sure there will be more. This will be an epic throwdown in, like I said, a very purple swing state. Roy Cooper made it official, jumped into the North Carolina Senate race. He raised $3.4 million in his first 24 hours, which is truly amazing. He's going to need a lot of money to win this race. And so keep it going, but we are still seeing discrepancies in fundraising between male candidates and female candidates. So just because someone's in a primary doesn't mean they don't need your money now. And then weird story about Secretary of Defense and former Fox News Weekend host Pete Hegseth looking for an exit ramp and potentially exploring a bid to run for governor of Tennessee, although Senator Marsha Blackburn is already running there and is seen as like a strong front runner. Tennessee also has a 7-year residency requirement that he clearly does not meet. So I think that this trial balloon is fading fast, but clearly he's not happy. The Trump administration isn't happy with him. He is not smart, to put it mildly, and would love to get him out of that role. Tennessee can have him. In other political news, obviously this week the huge news is out of Texas, where the Texas legislature convened a special session in order to further gerrymander their districts and try to squeeze another 5 seats, making it harder for Democrats to take back the House. This is really awful for a lot of reasons. One, awful for like little d democracy reasons, really bad for big D Democrat reasons. It does look like they'll be able to do it. They are assuming that the shift in the Latino vote in Texas is there to stay, which is a fairly big assumption. So some of these districts might be competitive, but these are also not necessarily the final maps, and the Republicans in the congressional delegation are not super happy that this is happening. We could see a domino effect where other states like Missouri and Florida follow suit. Ohio was already doing a mid-cycle redistricting. And California has said that they will try to do a mid-cycle redistricting. If Texas moves forward, it is harder in California. They have a nonpartisan redistricting commission. Looks like this will likely have to go to voters. It's really hard for other blue states like Illinois, New York, New Jersey, my own state of Colorado, to do this for a variety of reasons. But I think states are certainly looking at it. But, this is what we can expect to see after the 2030 census. We can expect to see redistricting on steroids, and Republicans doing extreme partisan gerrymanders. So buckle up. It's the new normal. The other news is kind of all over the place in terms of views of Democrats. So a Pew poll showed that Trump's approval is only 27% with independents, which is a lower rating with independents than Joe Biden ever had. So on the one hand, that's like good news. But a Wall Street Journal poll shows that the Democratic Party's net rating is -30, 19 points below Republicans, and the worst ever gap for Democrats in the history of the Wall Street Journal poll. But then a Gallup poll shows that more people are identifying as Democrats. So data's kind of all over the place. Obviously, the jobs numbers today were really bad, much lower than expected. The Liberation Day, or whatever Trump calls it, with the tariffs going into effect, happened today. We have really only just started to scratch the surface in terms of seeing the impact of these tariffs. So here's to Trump's approval rating continuing to sink. Here's to Democrats getting their act together, and improving our own standing and telling people what we are for, not just what we're against, and not only defending policies from 100 years ago, but coming up with some new ideas. And then my shout out of the week goes to my awesome husband, Jonathan, who helped make our event we hosted on Tuesday evening for Vote Save America, Can't Win Victory Fund, Connect Forward, and New Era Colorado truly amazing. Hosting an event for 50 people 2 days after we came back from vacation was maybe not my best idea. And Jonathan is an awesome cook and helped get some yummy appetizers together, helped me clean up the house, get the backyard in order. So just very, very grateful to my hubby. Thanks so much, everyone. We'll have another update next week. Bye.